question that I get often is, will I be able to keep more of the house if I'm the one that put a down payment? The answer is not necessarily. You will have the burden of proving that a marital asset, which is the house, you bought the house during the marriage, that the down payment that you used, even if that money came from sources that you had prior to being married, that property is going to be subject to equitable distribution. And the court is always going to start with the premise that the distribution should be 50-50. So if you want to be awarded more than 50% because you put the down payment into the home and you took that down payment from money that was yours prior to getting married, you will have the burden of proving in court that that down payment was not a gift. Okay? When you put a house, when you purchase it, if you use that money to buy it, that down payment, the court is going to look at that as a gift towards the marriage. Not necessarily a gift towards your spouse, but as a gift that you're giving to your marriage. So you will have the burden of proving that you really did not intend to give a gift, that you intended to get that money back in the event of a divorce, or in the event of selling the house, you were always going to get that down payment back. If you can't prove that, there is significant case law in Florida that's going to prevent you from being able to claim more than 50%. You have to remember, every asset and debt acquired during the marriage is going to be subject to equitable distribution. That means that the judge is going to start with the presumption that the house should be divided 50-50. To overcome that presumption is going to be very tough, and you'll likely have to spend countless legal hours, billable time to overcome that. And that's why sometimes it's better to compromise and come to a fair resolution during the mediation. Of course, we will always evaluate all the facts in your case. We'll take a look at the history, and we're gonna go in there with the premise that if you do want more than 50%, because you were the one that acquired the property, because of you the property was acquired, well, we're gonna need evidence. We're gonna need facts that will support the argument that it was not intended to be a gift. I recently had a case where the husband purchased the house prior to getting married by using down payment, by using the money that he had received from an inheritance. He used all of the money to purchase the home, and the court awarded the house 50-50 to both parties. Even though he purchased the house prior to getting married, the court still found that that money that he used, even though it was his, it was used to acquire a marital property, and it was 50-50. So you can see, even from that example of a case that I had recently, it's a tough burden. And that is the importance of knowing what the law says and approaching the law from the perspective of, this is what I have to prove, now give me your facts, give me your evidence. So in short, the answer is always going to be, we have to start with the presumption that every marital asset is going to be divided 50-50. If we're gonna divide it more than that, if you want more, you're gonna have to prove it. And a lot of times, that's a very difficult thing to do. Thank you.